Today I am going to show you every watercolor palette that I own, plus 3 unopened ones. Stay tuned. Let's get right into it here. First one is the Koi pocket-filled sketch box. And this is how I leave it, apparently. My little water brush that splits in half is, I think, in my pencil box, but it's really handy. I like that they have one that splits in half and has a cap, so you can even keep the water in it. So that's kind of cool. But you can see that we've got a lot of cracking on it. But I use this one. I have used this one quite a bit. In fact, it's the only thing I took on a trip to Mexico with me, just because I knew I wouldn't cry real tears if I lost it or anything, and it worked fine in my little sketchbook. So it was good. I liked it. It's, you know, not artist-based watercolors. They're more opaque and whatnot, but I'm not too picky in my sketchbooks most of the time. So that is that one. Then this one I just showcased in a video, so I'll link that up in the corner for you. This is the Van Gogh Pocket Box by Royal Talons, and you can see it has real nice colors. I very much enjoyed working with these paints, but I was working on cellulose paper, and so I need to try them out on cotton paper just out of curiosity. I want to see what they're like, so this one's cool. I think I like the palette more than anything because, you know, I don't know for sure about paints yet, although I have seen a lot of reviews on YouTube where these are nice. People are recommending them, so I suspect they're probably just fine. This one here I also have a video out on. I did a little winter cabin with this set, and I just cut this so I would have it, but I didn't do an actual swatch sheet in here of my own yet. I wasn't impressed with these watercolors the very first time I used them. These are the Daler-Rowney Aquafine, but when I did that little cabin, I liked them better, so I need to give them another shot. Plus, I love this brush. It's shorty, but it doesn't come apart like the one in this Van Gogh box here. If you're going to use that brush, you're going to need to tape it because it always just came apart in the middle. So this one has no seam like that. It's just short, so I think it's pretty neat. What a good idea. And this little thing comes out here. And yeah, I'm going to have to give these another try. Again, probably on cotton paper, because I think that's probably the best test for them for me, because I like to see how they work on the best paper. I'll give that a try again later as well. You can see. Next are these Pretty Excellent watercolors, and you can see I already have it set up for travel. This one needs to be rubber banded as well, and then I usually just keep it with a bamboo paper towel. It's reusable. These are sold by Lightwish on Amazon, and mine came dented. The tin came dented, and I was able to pop it out. And so I contacted the company, and I'm like, hey, it came dented, just so you know, you might want to, I don't know, have them package it differently or something like that. And I told them I didn't need them to do anything, but they sent me a whole new case of, and they included the paint. So I ended up with 2 of these, and I gave one to my grandma. So that was really nice of them. They didn't have to do that. So this is the swatch sheet here, and it's on Arches Cold Press, and it's pretty decent. Now, I really like these colors. I think just yesterday or the day before, I just saw someone do a comparison of these Pretty Excellent watercolors with the Paul Rubens, because they're sold by the same company. That review was beyond excellent. I will find that. It will be linked up here in the corner and down in the description box, because it was thorough, and you guys need to watch it if you're interested in these colors. Now, I think these colors are in the right order. This is the only problem I have with this. If you're working like in a camp trailer or something outside on a table and you bonk these, you can see that these are loose in here, and I have accidentally jostled them, I guess, if you will, and a lot of these pans came out. And so I kind of had to guess where they went back in, and I like these browns. I'm just thinking, hoping they're all back in the right place. So that's unfortunate. So that was one thing I would warn you with these, is make sure They're banded shut. Make sure they're flat when you open them, and try and put them in a place where they're not going to get bunked. And then little mixing wells up here. I don't know if these are really considered palettes here, but they do have mixing wells, and these are the Prang Glitter ones. Believe it or not, these are actually pretty decent. I used these in a Christmas card making video, and I can link that there, even though it's not even close to Christmas right now. And I really liked them, actually. They're kind of cool. I believe there is a set of Prang regular watercolors, not the glitter, in one of my old Smart Art boxes that I haven't gotten to yet. So if you haven't seen my videos about how many old subscription boxes I have unopened, I'll link that here as well. We can try those out if we ever get to that box. So this one comes with the brush. Not the greatest brush, but at least it's not one of those yucky plastic ones. This one doesn't have a brush in it. That's probably the one I used for that Christmas video because it is the most used. Yep, this one's not even touched, but the brush is missing. But all right, so those I guess kind of are considered palettes because they have mixing wells. Debated on getting them out here or not. This one here was my son's in preschool. He's now 24. So we have these if we ever want to try these out. And then these were mine when I was in school. They were $1.29. Benny and Smith. Obviously hardly used at all. Made in Thailand, at least the brushes. So the colors are labeled down here. I have no idea what quality these are. And then this one, this is one of those fan out ones. Okay, finally got that opened. So yeah, this is the fan out kind. And I think at the time I found this one for like 12 or 13, 14, $15. I don't remember. I have a picture of it on my computer. I'll look it up later and put it on the screen. And it comes with a water brush and mixing palette here, which is kind of nice, and you could use this area as well because it's very plasticky. It just doesn't have an edge. A little sponge. The way they fold up, I'm just afraid they're going to stick to each other. But anyway, I have them. We'll see. This is the superior ones, and I'll link those. Everything will be linked in the description box below. All right, let's see. This is a palette, but it doesn't have paint in it. Just some leftovers, and I don't even know what this is because I have not pulled this out and used it in years. So who knows? Could be anything in here. But this is just plastic, and it's the double flower palette. So I don't really like the plastic ones. Things beat up a lot until you really get them worn in, but I have it if I need it, which is always nice. Now this one's kind of cool. I think this was either at my grandma's house or something I had growing up, or I found it in a thrift store. I just don't remember. I just know it's old. And I went ahead and kept it whenever I ran across it because it's just kind of cool. It's missing one of the little wells here, and I have no idea if this paint's any good. It looks chalky, offhand here, but I was thinking, if you didn't like this paint, you could take these out of here and put your own paint in these circles, and that would be kind of nice because they're big. So you could use big brushes easily, and they're kind of spread out, and they have a lot of mixing wells. So I really wanted to keep this palette, and it's a Grumbacher, West Germany, and they do have the colors labeled in there. So I should probably try these out. I think they're kind of cool. See for yourself, watercolors. Neat. All right, let's do this one next here. This is the palette I was told to buy when I signed up for a watercolor class through our local community college, and it's not expensive. I don't know if it has a price on it, but it seemed like it was like $9, $10, $13, something like that. I don't really remember. And this currently has Winsor & Newton professional grade watercolors in here because those are the paints that I had at the time to put in here. So you can see that I've used it a lot, so the beading isn't terrible on this one. And I accidentally used acrylics in here one time, and they don't come off the plastic very easily, so that's just a permanent stain somewhere. Yeah, I think these might be the Niji ones that I used in that one video where I did the little sunset in the tree using those. It was an old Smart Art box, so If I can find that video, I'll link it as well. So this one's kind of neat because it has all these wells for your paint, plus all this mixing area around it. So if it weren't for the fact that it's plastic, and I know that bothers a lot of people, and even me at first, until it really gets worn in, it's a nice palette, and it has the lid. All right, on to this one. This is the same paint as the one I just showed you, but I bought this Meeden Watercolor 10 online and put my paints in here. So I just used empty pans, these are full pans, and filled them with my Winsor & Newton professional grade watercolor paint and put them in here. And the only one I really have trouble with is this brown here. You can see how it really shrink up. This is the burnt umber, so it'll come out, and I can go get more paint and stick that back down by putting some under it, and it'll probably work fine. And then I got this Opera Rose. You can see that it's kind of just added on to this swatch sheet here between these two, because this was a freebie from Jerry's Artarama at one time, and I just added it in here because I have space. And in fact, I have space for one more full pan as well if I squish these together, but these are the only Winsor & Newton paints that I have at the moment, so I just stuck the little swatch there. This palette is nice. It works great. It beads up a little at first too, but not too bad. That's one thing I really liked about these tins is they really fold up to be all little. Okay, whew, are we tired yet? This one I just did in a video recently. Ow. This is the Mission Gold Watercolors, and I can link that video down in the description also. And also, if you want to watch anything in these cards up here, you don't have to click away from this video if you don't want to yet. You can either wait till the end, they're all still going to be there, or you can right click over them and open them in a new tab. So this video stays open and you still have the option to watch that other one. So either way, these are the Mission Gold ones. These were awesome. I can't wait to get into them again. And I was fine with the layout. I only put the tiniest bit of paint in each well because I wasn't sure if this is the order that I would want them in. And it's a little weird that we have like Prussian blue and over here and these other blues over here, but it didn't bother me when I was painting with them. So I'll probably just keep this order for now so I don't have to redo my swatch sheet and add some more paint in here. I already had to add a little bit more paint. I think it was the permanent red, maybe the vermilion as well, but something over here I had to add more paint because I used it up, and I think the sepia maybe. So this one's nice. It's a plastic palette, so yeah, it is what it is. But if you saw people's hacks online, you can use rub glue stick and it won't bead up like that. And what else? Like a magic eraser, which I had in this palette over here. This is just a little piece of the magic eraser right here. So you can rub that and it kind of scratches that up. Or toothpaste works, prevent that beading. You guys probably know all this, but yep, Mission Gold Watercolors. I have a lot of paint left. Can't wait to fill this up. Do some more with that. It is a big bulky palette, however, but that's a lot of colors, 36 colors. This one is the Roman Szmal, and I did the little color mixing chart here. It's just beautiful, beautiful paint. Like every time I look at this little chart, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. All right, let's get into this one. This palette I just bought separately on Amazon, and I have a link for that for you. And then I haven't laminated this swatch sheet yet. That is intentional because I thought I might add more paint in here. So I do have more full pans that I can put in here if I have more paint. So right now, these are the only 5 colors I have in the Roman Szmal line, and I put them in here. I'm probably just going to fill up the metal pan place and use these for extra mixing wells, and then this pulls out as well for extra space. This little palette is really cool. I've never seen one quite like this before, but you can put the paint around here like you're supposed to, or like people do, and in the middle as well. So you could have a lot of paint in here, but for me, it's most useful to have more mixing space. That's my plan. All right, I made a couple of paintings with these 5 colors, and that'll be linked, of course, as well. QoR. This is the mini, I don't know what this one's called exactly, but it's their little mini travel set. Comes with 12 colors, so this tiny little thing packs a big punch of color here, and they're all the nice bright mixing colors. So yeah, you can see that I've actually used it quite a bit. It doesn't use up a lot of paint because these are very strong colors. You can use it, and this is a silicone type of material right here. These are pans that can come out, but I'm not going to pull them out. And little, like QoR does, they're little dents in their tin lid, so that's kind of neat. and I've kept the little wax paper in there. And this one is so fun because it's so compact and you get all the colors you would need, and they're nice bright colors. Speaking of QoR, I do have their full 24 set. These are so hard to open with one hand here. There we go. Okay. So I actually want to redo this palette because if you've been watching my videos, you know that I like to have a swatch sheet. Actually, I don't need to redo the palette. I need to redo the swatch sheet because I like to have a swatch sheet that exactly matches where my watercolors are. Now, these do kind of match where they are. Like this one's there, there, there. I mean, you can see how that is working. However, with the curve and stuff, sometimes I have to go, wait, okay, that one's, which one, that one? So I probably want to redo this swatch sheet, but you can see I have 24 really nice colors here, and I made this myself. So these 24 paints came with this tin, and they came in tubes, and then I just grabbed these empty full pans, labeled them with the names, filled them with paint, and stuck them in here with the 3M Velcro strips. So I cut them real small so I didn't use a bunch of them, which is cool because you can hear how that snaps in. Okay, and they're very sturdy. I've painted with these a lot. This is what I did my dog, my golden retriever painting with, was this palette, and I used big, huge brushes, and it didn't bother them at all. So the cool part about that is that if I didn't like the order these paints were in, like again, my blues are split apart like this, I could just pick these up because I tried to put this Velcro in exactly the same spot on every pan here. So I could just pick them up and switch their order. Like I could put this one over here, for example, and they just snap in. I thought that was kind of a fun use of the 3M Velcro strips in the pans. And I love their tins. There's so much mixing space. It's really useful, and I think that worked out pretty darn well. And then I have this laminated, and that is my QoR 24 set. All right, I think that's all the opened ones. Now I have the 3 unopened ones. This one I've opened, I just haven't used, so I don't know if that really counts or not, but this is the portable painter. This is like the one that I drool over. Okay. Ugh, there we are. Now, the reason that this one isn't used yet, because this is the one I would love to have for traveling, is because I still think I'm in that stage where I want to make sure that my favorite paints are in here. And I know that I like QoR paints and stuff, but like, I don't know. I don't want to fill this yet until I have my absolute favorite colors. It could be a while before it gets filled, which is silly, but that's just the way it is right now. I thought this brush, yeah, came out, and it's a double-sided small round, so that's kind of neat. Anyway, it does have pans in here, so even if I filled them, I could take these pans out and switch them out. So I should just fill them up right now with like my favorite QoR paints or whatever I want to put for now, because I can switch these out. These are the smaller pans, however, so I think it's like the Winsor & Newton size that fit in here and not some of the others. Water for each side. It can go over your leg or whatever. Like if this were my leg, you know, it would just be sitting there with water on each side. And I like that it has 2 water wells because I like one for rinsing the dirty stuff off my brush and having one side that's always clean. And lots of mixing space, and this is just so cute and useful, incredibly useful. It's ingenious. All right, I'll put that back together later. All right, another unopened one is this one. This is the Paul Rubens. It's just an empty palette. I didn't get the filled one because I didn't know that I wanted their paint. But there was something about this palette that just really appealed to me, and that is the fact that these wells are so big. So I can fill up one end with paint here, and then I can use the rest of that well to get whatever dilution of that particular color that I want within the well itself. And I think that would be really useful because you won't have to pull paint out into your other mixing area in order to get a dilution of that color. So you can use it within the same well, and I think that would just save a lot of space. This also has a little scraper for cleaning and a little place for a water brush or some kind of short brush. And you saw me pull this out for extra mixing space. and it does have a rubber ring around it. Again, I've got to decide what paints that I want to put in here, but probably will just be with whatever I already have. So that one, and the last unopened palette I have is so exciting. I ordered this April 12th, and it just came, ouch, it just came like 2 or 3 days ago, so very excited. This is the Cloverleaf paint box. Ah, look at it, it's so cute, but it gets better. Watch this. So it opens up like that. I'm going to zoom you out a bit here. And then it opens up like this, and like this, and like this. Come on, there we go. Look at that. So it has full pan size wells in here. The whole thing comes out, but the pans don't come out individually. And all this mixing space, it's just, this one's in the shape of a little clover. It's just ingenious, you guys. This is like the most awesomest thing ever, and they give you some instructions and tips here on how to use it, how to clean it, and whatnot. And I just, like, how smart, you know, the inventor of this, really nice. And Barry and Shelley, and this has a name on it, Barry Herneman, so I assume that's who invented it, and it's incredible. And they were very communicative about the shipping and all of that, because it did take over a month, but it came from, you can see it came from overseas somewhere, and they did post it the 14th of April, so it literally took over a month in the mail system to get here. So anyway, Cloverleaf palette, you can get this on Etsy. Again, that's going to be linked below. Folds up so nice. I mean, it's thicker and stuff than the others, but even these edges, you'd think, oh, they're going to be sharp. They're not sharp. So you can put it in your bag safely without snagging anything and have an awesome paint box. So highly recommend it. All right, well, that is the extent of my watercolor palettes. This is a longer video. I hope you've stayed with me. Thanks so much for joining me. Check out my other videos on the channel. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell notification for all. Otherwise, YouTube will only tell you once in a blue moon when I have a video out. And if you like this video or you have suggestions about any of these palettes, I want to hear them. So comment below and hit the like button for this video, because that helps me out too. All right, we will see you in the next video.